more funny. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then the thing is, it's suited just for you. Whatever you watch, that's what it knows. The algorithm is suited just for Lisa. It's like a fingerprint. Your TikTok is going to be totally different than mine. Yours is going to be totally different. It's a whole like, oh my gosh, it's incredible.
You are entering the Urban Suite with Dr. Lisa Lacan. Let's talk about urban issues plaguing our community. Let's talk about mental health. Let's talk about sex.
All right, you have landed in the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa Lacan. Welcome. Listen, tonight we are going to discuss having optimum brain health. What does that mean? Listen, I'm going to be honest with you all, my urbanites. As I get older, sometimes I experience brain fog, meaning I'm like, what in the world did I walk up the steps for? Why did I walk in this room? What is that person's name? Like sometimes, your brain needs to be exercised as well. And sometimes watching certain shows does not allow that exercise to happen. So we're talking about how can we get the optimal function of our brain to work as it ought, especially as we creep into the AARP group. I know I am a part of the AARP crew. Who else is part of AARP? Come on now, come on. Tell the truth, shame the devil. So, as you get older, sometimes we need to do more things so that our brain can be healthy. So we're going to talk about how can we increase brain health after these messages. A word from our sponsor as well as our missing person. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, so we are back with our missing person segment, and I do this segment every Tuesday, every time I go live, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me tell you all something. So remember I told you last week that the missing person segment will be on my YouTube channel, Urban Tools for Change Network. Check it out, please. So you can make comments. So last week, I can't remember her first name. I think it's Alexandria Chapman. Alexandria Chapman from Germantown, Tennessee. I highlighted her last week and I put her on the shorts. Go to the shorts, check it out. Do you know someone wrote a comment that said, "Who cares?" I was like, oh my goodness. And then he wrote this whole litany of things. Her parents should have been watching her and stuff like that. There are some very mean people out there. And I just had to ask him a very simple question. He hasn't responded as of yet, but this was the very simple question I asked him. Who unloved you as a child? For a person to say that they don't care about the welfare of a child lets me know they're very demonic. Very demonic. Troll, yes. Very, very demonic. And the wonderful word, yes, Bridget. Shout out to Bridget Jackson. Yes, the word that we use now are trolls. They're just trolling you and stuff like that. Who would say that about a missing child? Who cares? Well, obviously you don't care. And then you stated that you're not a parent. Thank God you're not a parent, because 9 times out of 10, you will probably be abusive. So, for those trolls out there, especially when you're talking about our missing children, I will not be bullied. I will not be intimidated to say, oh gosh, I'm not going to do this again because the trolls who are demonically influenced. The blood of Jesus over you, Mr. Whatever your name is. You know who you are. I'm speaking to your spirit right now. Anyway, all right. So every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here in the Urban Suite, we do the missing person segment, and tonight is no exception. So who do we have tonight? We have Mr. Javon Nelson. He has been missing since April the 9th, 2024. April the 9th, 2024 from Chicago, Illinois. Listen, he is, I believe, the second person that I have highlighted from Chicago this month. What's happening with you all in Chicago? What is happening in Chicago? Now, maybe you all are reporting more, or maybe, things are happening more with the young adults. He's 24 years old, from Chicago. He's a male. His race is Black. His complexion is medium. His height is 5'9". He weighs 140 pounds. His hair color is black. His hair length is medium, and his eye color is brown. So, location last seen. Jovan was last seen on April 9th in the area of the 3200 block of East 92nd Street. I have no idea where that is in Chicago. Listen, wake up. I need you to share this information. I need you to put this out there. This is someone's loved one. We care. That's who cares. We care. All right. So, circumstances of his disappearance. On April 9th, 2024, Javon made a frantic call to his mom for help. He hasn't been seen or heard from since. Anyone with information, please contact Chicago Police Department, and their number is area code 312-747-8274. Again, area code 312-747-8274. Listen, my audio podcast family, my Urban Nights, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon. I need you to listen to this because this is important. Unfortunately, you cannot see his picture. However, if you go on my YouTube channel, Urban Twos for Change Network, if you go on my channel, you will be able to see his face. All right, so you can contact the Black and Missing Foundation Incorporated, BAMFI, and that number is 877-97-BAMFI, which translates into two. What is it? Two. Hurry up, scroll fast, because I forget. 226-34. 226-34. That is the Black and Missing Foundation Incorporated, their telephone number. You see how I forgot that? Brain fog. And I talk and I say that number every single week. And that's what we're talking about, brain health. So I can take off my glasses now because I'm not reading anything. My mom, God bless my mom. She's 80 years old. Every single day, I'm not exaggerating, every single day, she takes out her dictionary and her Washington Post crossword puzzle. Every single day, she engages in crossword puzzle. And why do you think she does that? Why does she do that? She's 80 years old. Let's see who the comments right here. We have Bridget. Get those AARP discounts. Yes. Thank you, Bridget. Yes, I got an AARP discount at the restaurant. Sure did. Sure did. Love those AARP discounts to keep her brain active. Yes, to keep her brain active, to keep her brain nimble. That's what she does every single day, to the point my son bought her a new dictionary this past Christmas because she has worn out the dictionary that she has. What are you doing to keep your mind nimble, to keep your mind active? And oftentimes, looking on Facebook, TikTok, and I'm guilty of it, it is a passive way of building muscle. And we're really not really building muscle at all when I'm talking about muscle in the brain. So we're talking about cognitive function, cognition. How and what is it? So bring up the definition of what cognition is. Cognition is the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and senses. And that's according to Oxford Dictionary. So when it comes to brain health, I'm not necessarily talking about mental illness or anything like that. I'm talking specifically about brain health and how we can keep our brains nimble. All right. So, one of the first things that we can do to keep our brain nimble and active sounds kind of like an oxymoron when you think about what we need to do, but it really does help, because if you don't do enough of this, it really will affect your brain. Do you know what I'm talking about? Sleep, getting the proper amount of sleep and rest per day or per night. Now, for those of us, that is correct. Rest, yes. Sleep, yes. Yes, Bridget. Look at my urbanites. My urbanites are sharp tonight. Go. Yeah, Bridget, did you take your nap today? Because you sharp. Yes. Right. Get that rest, that sleep. So, don't you remember in your 20s, you used to go out at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock? That's not even an option anymore. Not an option anymore. Not an option. I need to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night so I can wake up refreshed, so my internal organs can be rejuvenated, right? Because when you are in the process or you are sleep deprived, oh my gosh, you're talking about brain fog, being confused, not knowing where you're going or why or when or how. So it is really important to get proper sleep. And some people, and I understand this, some people put their phones on DND, do not disturb. Now, unfortunately, I can't do that with children. That's like, that's not going to happen. But for the most part, my friends, my loved ones know that 9 o'clock, lights out for Lisa for the most part. And they know if they text me after that, they will probably receive a text message from me very early in the morning or midday, because I have to get my sleep. I have to sleep. And then another thing that helps our brain stay healthy is this water. See this flask? I love this flask. This flask, you see, look at the.
Did you push the button? Did you
I
push
did.
the?
You see
Oh,
it?
okay. Okay, there it goes.
Right. This flask, this water is so good because it's sort of, I guess it's like oxygen that is infused.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen, yes, infused in this. So what's happening is when I can tell the difference. I really can tell the difference when I drink this water. I feel sharper, I feel more alert. I drink at least 3 to 4 of these a day. And I can tell you I'm more aware of my surroundings. I'm more, like I said, I'm more sharp, I'm more active, I'm more nimble. Although I do go to the bathroom more, of course, because it's water, But for the most part, you know, I love it. And I can actually taste the difference. They have these flasks available. You can get them on Amazon. They're really good. So what I usually put in there, I usually put water in there. This is pH 8.4, natural spring water. They say natural spring water. I usually just drink this water right here and put it in this flask. And then there's the button. You hit this button right here, and then it infuses the hydrogen. And then this is where you charge it. So it needs to be charged up, and it lets you know if it needs to be charged up. And you just put the little charger in that, and then you plug it in, and then you let it do its work. This is very, very important for brain health. Water consumption, definitely. And then the opposite of that, and I'm going to be honest, even though we enjoy engaging in it, and I have decreased my alcohol intake tremendously. Alcohol is an enemy to brain health. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alcohol, caffeine, sometimes it's just too much. It's like, so you really want to, if you drink, just wine or whatever, but alcohol, because it impairs your mind. I saw the 3-hour and 10-minute interview with Amanda Seales and Shannon Sharp. And what I noticed, Amanda Seales, she stated that she does not drink alcohol. See, it beeped. So when it beeps, that means it's done. It beeps. It said beep, beep, beep. She doesn't drink alcohol. I noticed that Shannon Sharp, he drinks alcohol, and I believe he has his own liquor brand. So going through the interview, people were like, he's not professional. He didn't dig in enough, whatever. I really think when you're interviewing people in a platform like that, it is not wise to drink alcohol because it impairs your mental ability. So at one point during the interview, he looked, maybe he was disinterested. I don't know, because it was a very long interview, but it's a depressant. So I just didn't find that, especially someone with her caliber and how she's speaking, you have to be on your A game with someone like her. Engaging in an alcoholic beverage, that is not good. All right. So another thing that can help with your brain activity and for your brain to become nimble, engaging in games to stimulate your brain, Like I was saying, my mom, she does crossword puzzles. And I haven't done this in a long time, but I did this today. Sudoku. Are you familiar with Sudoku? Are you all familiar with Sudoku?
I've heard it, but how does it work? Like it's the word thing. Like how does it work though?
No, actually, it's a number thing.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think like 12 big blocks. And then within those 12 big blocks, you have separate blocks of 9. And those numbers 1 through 9 are right here. But the numbers cannot repeat themselves down the row vertically nor horizontally. So you have to think about, okay, what number is left that I can put here that will not disrupt the nature of what this game is about. So you have to really think like, okay, if I put a 1 right here, that means there's a 1 at the bottom in this same column, so I can't put a 1 right there. So what number do I need to put? So it's a number game. But you're really thinking, you're using a lot of your senses, you're being stimulated. So that's another thing. Engaging in, this is why going to and attending conferences are very important. And I have to say, big shout out to Rutgers University, my alma mater. I did a fantastic presentation with them talking about stigma. And what it did for me was it forced me to dive deeper into stigma. Just when I thought, I'm like, oh gosh, I know so much about stigma, but it forced me to dive deeper into stigma so that I can present it to the audience. And they learned so much. So sometimes attending conferences, learning new things keeps your mind nimble. Another thing that oftentimes we overlook is something that Kelly Bowman talked about. What did she talk about, Curtis? Kelly Bowman.
Water.
Outside of water.
It's too loud in here.
Oh, she talked about proper nutrients in your foods.
Nutrition.
Right. Your nutrients that you're taking in. That's right. Yes. What are you eating? What are you consuming? Because she basically said you are what you eat. Are you eating whole grains? Are you eating fruits? Are you eating vegetables? Or are you eating a lot of fried foods, a lot of pork, a lot of food that is very heavy, that is very sedating, that makes you sleepy, that makes you lethargic? What are you consuming? What are you putting in your body, your mouth? Because oftentimes, everything that you take in, that you consume, it affects your brain. It affects your brain. So it's very important to understand, the things that you eat, what you're doing in terms of sleeping. How are you, exercising your mental faculties? So I think for me, I'm going to start really engaging in Sudoku. Now, I want to read something. This is interesting. I'm going to read from Summit Health. This is very interesting. Hold on for a second. Let me pull this up.
While you pull it up, could I just play them the self-care thing? Because this is all
Sure,
number 2 for
absolutely.
self-care.
Yep, absolutely.
11 If, Then Algorithms for Self-Care by Ben Meir. Tip number 2. 2. If you're unhappy, then start with brain health. Sleep, hydrate, exercise, eat nutritiously, rebalance your dopamine with less screen time. Our society labels many issues as mental health that are actually brain health. Source: Dr. Daniel Amen.
All right, so this is from Summit Health. It says, have you ever misplaced your keys, temporarily forgotten someone's name, or paused to remember why you walked into a room. Don't worry. It's normal to experience occasional forgetfulness, especially as we age. But there are memory problems that can signal something more serious. And this is from Dr. David Bladley, as well as Avery Katz with Summit Health. So they give us a scoop on memory loss. When is memory loss not normal? This is important. When is memory loss not normal? Memory loss that worsens over time and disrupts daily life is not normal. Unlike typical age-related forgetfulness, these memory problems make it hard to do everyday activities or maintain a social life. For example, someone might ask the same question repeatedly. So if you're around someone and they ask the same question repeatedly, that's something to think about. They forget a conversation they just had. They forget a conversation that they just had. They have difficulty with routine tasks such as housework or paying bills. Again, they have difficulty with routine tasks such as housework or paying bills. They become lost while walking or driving to a familiar location. Now, I must confess, I get lost in the parking lot. Like, I have to mentally and intentionally take a picture in my head. Sometimes I do it on the phone if I'm at the airport. Take a mental snapshot where I am in the parking lot, because sometimes when I leave the grocery store, leave Target, I'm like, where's the car? Does that only happen to me? I don't know. Become lost while walking or driving to a familiar location. Struggle to find or use the right words. I did that. That happened to me. And I have to say, for me, after I received the vaccination, no, prior to the vaccination, after I had COVID, that was one of the things. I could not remember how to write, how to spell simple words. I could not remember. It was like, how do you spell little? Liddy. Like, that is my personal experience. When I had COVID, I could not remember. It was weird.
That happened to a lot of people, though. That wasn't just you. That happened to a lot of people.
Right. It was like, oh my gosh. And then after I got vaccinated, let's see. Wow. Bridget says, wow. I could not remember. I remember sitting in the office typing, and I could not remember how to spell, like smell or spell, like simple words like that. Like, so I had to talk in my phone to say, spell XYZ, spell so-and-so, because I could not remember. All right. And then it says, you forget not to take care of themselves, or as they once did. You withdraw from hobbies or social activities. Now, again, oftentimes what can contribute to this memory loss or our brain not functioning as it ought and not being as healthy, side effects of medication. So like I had a show on here a long time ago talking about medications and asking your doctor specifically for the long-term side effects as well as the short-term side effects, because there are two types of side effects, long-term and short-term. Ask your doctor. That's just a FYI for your information. So not getting enough nutrients in your diet, head injury from a fall or accident, Lyme disease, thyroid disease, depression and anxiety, brain tumor or infection, and Parkinson's disease. That's what can cause memory loss. So that's outside of just the age-related factors that take place. So it is a good idea, number one, to hydrate. Definitely drink your water. And if you can, reduce, as we get older, it is important to reduce our amount of alcohol intake. Now, as you all know, I used to drink wine like almost every day, a glass of wine, but I stopped. And how did I stop? I weaned myself off. And the why I stopped was because I had high blood pressure. And I got high blood pressure right after I got vaccinated. That's just my story. After I got vaccinated, my blood pressure was very elevated. So I said, well, let me reduce my wine intake. So I reduce my wine intake. And what I do when I have to wean myself, I do like this. I say, okay, so if I'm drinking wine 5 days a week, for the first couple of weeks, I'm only going to drink wine 4 days a week. Now, this is a very slow process, but it works for me. You have to find your own rhythm. You have to find your own groove. And then for the next 2 weeks, it was just 4 days. And then I reduced it to 3 days. And then I said, okay, only on Friday and Saturday. So now I'm on 2 days. But now I rarely drink because I said, okay, let me just do it on Friday and not Saturday. So then as Friday would come, what was happening with my body, I started to lose the urge and the taste and the desire for it. Now, if I have it, I have it. If I don't, I don't. So I rarely drink, so it's like, so I said, let me do that because one, again, alcohol impairs your brain. You are under the influence of a substance. Now, you may be able to operate a vehicle, you may be able to think or whatever, but alcohol definitely affects your organs, your liver, your kidneys, your brain. I was like, you know what? I'm getting older. I'm going to reduce it. So I may have maybe a glass out of like for the whole month or two, and that's it. I'm done. So yeah, so you have to think of those things. So I challenge you, my urbanites. I challenge you to, if you're exercising, that's good. That's good. But also what's good is exercising and doing something where you have to follow people, like there's a coordinated effort. Like say, for instance, for me, I'm going to be honest with you all, my urbanites. I could not, as a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, I could not get the step routines to say, I just was not coordinated. Like oh my God, like I just got.
but you can do the house fitness routines and stuff though now, right? Like you can do the house fitness routine.
I can. You know why?
Music? Why? No, what's the difference?
Because now I use that muscle in my brain to be able to do that, to coordinate now. So now I know how to follow. But back then my brain was like, don't.
Okay.
So actually one of my line name is Unrhythm Nation.
Oh no, they did you the opposite of Janet, huh?
And I was a big Janet Jackson fan. I used to play that album all.
Oh no. And in the segments of the Zetas, they especially known for all the hand clapping and the intricate, hand claps and all that. Yeah, they known for that. Like that's intricate. So it ain't like Q's or deltas or whatever. They're just doing regular steps, but that's a lot.
Matt.
Now,
Hey.
what do you think about like the technology that we have now? Does it enhance some of those mental activities, or do you think it's less? Because we used to have like Mad Libs and all those spelling games and Scrabble and stuff like that when we were younger. but because we didn't have technology, but so
Right.
we had to be more inventive, or like figure stuff out, like Clue and those kind of games, and Monopoly. Even you had to think more in those games. But with technology, isn't there an opportunity for there to be more of that type of stuff, or what do you think, or just more distractions?
It really depends. So say for instance, like with Chat GPT and AI, I think you don't use as much because you're relying more on artificial intelligence. And the prompting that you do is just for a split second. So I believe if we totally rely on that, I think our brain health will be diminished. However, there are programs out there or games out there. Scrabble still exists,
On your phone, right?
chess, huh?
For your phone, like it's on your phone, though, right?
Yeah, all that stuff. And they have the hard board games too. So if you go to Target, all those hard board games are there. They have Scrabble is there, checkers, chess. All those games are still there. And then you can play, with someone. They don't have to be in your immediate environment. They could live all the way in Switzerland because you have technology now where you can engage in those activities with people from around the world. Whereas before it was the game, so you were forced to play with your neighbor that lived next door to you. Now you can play with people in Africa, you can play with people in China, you can play, it's global. So if you still tapped into that plus the global reach, that's fantastic. That's amazing. However, I think with AI, I think it's going to slightly diminish, but there are going to be other opportunities to use our brain that we may not have tapped into as of yet, hopefully.
Yeah, but what about the endless scrolling on Twitter or TikTok and stuff like that? Those mindless, or is that mindless distractions, or is that helping your brain somehow?
Well, it depends on what your algorithms are. So say for instance, some people, like on my TikTok, they're math problems. So I can scroll, and if I stay on that math problem for a while, my next thing that I see is going to be another math problem. And these are math problems like, okay, let me put on my thinking cap here because I don't know, but if you engage in the gossip, if you engage, that's what it's going to be for you. So it really is what you want to feed yourself. What you want to feed yourself is going to come back to you, especially with TikTok. TikTok is your own personal fingerprint in that TikTok zone. So if I spend more time on stuff discussing Jesus, stuff discussing, the medical professions, that's all I'm going to see on my feed. So it really depends. That's an individual thing. It really depends on what you put out there. With TikTok, what you put out there is what you're going to get back. So if you put recipes, so I know a lot of people, they only follow recipes that are on TikTok.
That's all they see.
That's all they see. That's all they see. So again, it really depends. So I can't make a blanket statement and say TikTok is bad, whatever. But if you're only listening to Tasha K, if you're only listening to Jaguar, right? If you're only listening to all of this stuff, the gossip stuff, that's, you're going to go as far as that.
Well, before we go out, do you want to talk about like the proposed ban that might happen in 9 months if TikTok don't sell it? They kind of passed that. Just
yeah,
to speak.
Yeah, I don't think TikTok is going to sell it. And remember, we talked about this a long time ago when we saw the writing on the wall with TikTok, when it started the government agencies started to ban TikTok. And we went down the whole list. What state was banning TikTok? Okay, you have a lot of the red states at that point. It was South Dakota and, Virginia, the government workers and stuff banned TikTok. So that was, to me, the writing on the wall. I don't think they're going to sell. I just don't think they're going to sell. I think it's going to be banned.
And people don't realize in China they don't allow Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. Like those are banned in China.
Oh, namaste. Yes, Felicia. Namaste. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to, it's so interesting. So TikTok isn't necessarily banned in China. It's just that they only have a certain mongering over here.
Right. You were saying something about the kids get sent certain stuff. Like if they're under a certain age, they make sure you see certain like educational type stuff.
Right. And that's it. Right. But here, oh, you can see whatever you want, you can see whatever you want as a child. So I don't think China, the government, is going to sell. I think they're going to say goodbye, because I think TikTok is banned in other countries.
It's like
those people that are on TikTok that are influencers and they have millions of people, they have to know now that they have to find another source of income.
They have
to have a succession plan.
They were swole this week, boy. They was complaining and crying about how they ain't gonna make no money.
Yeah, because a lot of the people that navigated to TikTok don't like Instagram.
Right.
And I don't think they're going to come back to Instagram. Like for me, I'm not a big Instagram person. I don't like it. I don't know.
Instagram is ghetto.
I don't like it. But those are some of the things that we can do, sleeping, getting proper rest, getting rid of negative energy and negative people in our lives. Like, oh my gosh, this is not doing anything for my brain health. And engaging in something that will allow you to make your brain nimble. Crossword puzzles, checkers, chess, Sudoku, certain things like that, games like that kind of tap into, okay, I need to solve this problem. I need to solve, this situation. I need to, when I was in my doctorate program, after writing and doing, because I was in my program and working, I used to watch Wendy Williams.
Oh my goodness. That's not the same category at all. That's not the same category.
And I tell people I need to watch something that isn't, I'm a jigsaw puzzle kind of, oh, Raquel. Oh, jigsaw puzzle. Yes, jigsaw puzzle. That's right. My aunt used to have the table with the jigsaw puzzle. And then, Raquel, are you the type to put your jigsaw puzzles up on the wall? You see those people that used to glue their jigsaw puzzles?
You got to after you done made it and stuff like that. We used to do those puzzles and stuff. Me and Felicia, we used to do those puzzles back in the day.
Oh, y'all used to do the puzzles?
Mm-hmm. We used to have big puzzles and stuff.
You used to do the big puzzles. You had the table.
Because remember, there wasn't a lot of technology back then. It wasn't a lot of technology back then. So
yeah, I haven't seen those puzzles, but I would like to do puzzles. I would like that. I think I may get some puzzles. Yes, puzzles. Yeah, that's right, Felicia. The puzzles. I think that's interesting. So yeah, it's I can't remember what I was going to say because the puzzles. I take a picture and put it back in the box. Oh, you take a picture and put it back in the box? Yeah, because those things do look kind of cheesy, right?
But she could have just looked at the front of the cover of the puzzle box instead of doing that.
He didn't. What? Raquel, you already said he wants you to cheat. He wants you to cheat. Just look at
you gotta have proof though. She need the actual puzzle. Nobody know that she really did that if she just taking a picture of it.
No, you know, because you see the little creases. Right? Raquel, don't you see the little creases on the next? Take a picture and put it back in the box and then on to the next. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but Raquel, when you take a picture, don't you see the creases in the little pieces, puzzle pieces?
Yeah,
The box doesn't have the box is just the picture. It doesn't have the thing. Yeah. Oh, who said that? What? Mad Libs. What was Mad Libs?
I wrote that because it was louder. But remember we used to play that back in the day. Ask Felicia what Mad Libs is. She'll tell you.
Felicia, what's Mad Libs? I can't remember. Was that boy Mad? Was that him?
It was like a game that you had to. They would say before you knew the stories, the person would ask you, just give me a noun, give me a verb, give me an adjective, give me a color, give me this, and then you fill in the story with all the words that they gave you.
Oh.
Makes a funny story after that and stuff. But then you have to know what a noun is. You have to know what a verb is. You have to know what an adjective is.
Right.
You have to know what an adverb is.
All right. That is when you had to make up a story using parts of speech. I don't remember that. I remember that, but I don't. Was it a little soft cover book?
It was like yeah. It was like a little flip book, and then you just write in it. Yep.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Do they still make that?
I don't think so. I think they went out of business.
Oh, yes. I don't even think today's kids would know what a verb and an adverb and a noun is. You think these kids would know?
You're right.
I mean, really, like, I don't know. They don't know cursive. So, yeah. All right. But yeah, so just very practical things that we can do. They do in rare places. They do what? They know, Felicia, they know
they know what nouns and stuff are in some schools and stuff like that. But then it kind of gives you a thing like, because they would always, because like we're little.
They don't know parts of speech.
Or like sentence structure, how to diagram a sentence and stuff like that. We used to have to know that. But we went to Catholic school though when we were young.
Oh, excuse me. I had that in my DC public school. We had to dissect the whole sentence. Her name was Miss Liggins, my English teacher.
But remember, like they used to have that schoolhouse rock, and they would have the thing every Saturday. A noun is a person, place, a thing, and they have the song and everything that go with it. Remember?
Right. Mad Libs are still around. Oh, they're still around. Where are my educators out there? Who else? Oh yes, Raquel said we need to. Where is it? We need to bring back schoolhouse rock. Yes. Unpack your adjectives. Y'all remember that?
Right. Yes. Now
that's what's happening.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I remember all of those.
Sing, to play, to dance, to love.
Yep.
That song was hot. That's what's happening. Oh, that song was. Oh, I got goosebumps thinking about that song because that song is hot. But conjunction, junction. What's the function? We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. Yeah.
They were teaching you stuff while you were being entertained back then.
Yes. And that is also good for brain health, having fun while doing it.
But if we got to add that to the list, have fun. Yeah.
Yes. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? These kids today.
Yeah. And have fun, like fun activities for your brain.
Yes, fun activities for your brain. Yeah, Wendy Williams, that's what I was saying. Wendy Williams was just, because I was so overloaded with just stuff, I just needed just no brain TV, just sit there and just look.
All right, well, how about Family Feud and like The Price is Right? Do they help brain health?
Jeopardy.
Okay, Jeopardy. Not Family Feud and The Price is Right?
Family Feud a little bit, but some of it's kind of corny. Top 100 people say, what is the favorite? I mean, it's like, I don't know.
It makes you think though, right? It
does make you think, and it makes you think within a certain time. So you're forced to really like to think, okay, I got to think of this thing in 3 seconds. So
The
you're like,
Price is
okay,
Right is like the same thing, kind of like with numbers and stuff too, though, right? Like 'cause
yeah,
you have
and
to figure out the
prices
price.
and stuff like that. The Price is Right. Oh, Felicia said, and the COVID kids, oh my God, they are lost. Yes. They have no idea. We need to inject them with Schoolhouse Rock. Verb, that's what's happening. Actually, there's a woman on TikTok. She's known as the English teacher. She's so proficient. She's really good. And she stands in front of a class. You don't see the class, but you hear the class. And she talks about different, things in the language universe. The difference between saying the versus the. Mm-hmm. Just simple things. The difference when
Is she
you
popular?
yes, she's
Like,
millions
but adults or kids looking at her? I mean, because it might be all adults.
and kids, everybody.
Okay, that's good. I never heard
Very
of her.
practical.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, she's very practical. And she does it in a very fun and engaging way. And that's one of the keys, definitely. Definitely to have fun while you're learning. And that's something that I always try to instill in our children. And even when I had the family daycare, to have, fun activities and learn. So oftentimes what I would do is the kids would learn. And I got this, I would say, from Schoolhouse Rock growing up. You put things with good music and you remember
Yep, yep,
things that way,
yep. Mhm.
because even rapping and
Yeah,
rappers, that's
mhm,
a skill. Like I
yeah,
can't rap.
yeah.
Like, no, yeah. And your brain has to be like, you know. So, yeah, so it's just really important to engage in those activities and don't lose sight. You can do those activities on your cell phone. If you know if you're sleepy and your bedtime is 9 o'clock, go to sleep. That party, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Go to sleep. Drink your water. Get your nutrients from fresh vegetables and fruits. Hopefully is organic. Now, it's very hard, I have to say, in this country. It is very hard, you know, with the food supply that we have. It is just challenging to really eat healthy unless you grow your own fruits and vegetables because they pump a lot of these things. What is seedless watermelon? That cannot be healthy. Seedless watermelon? I mean, that sounds like, I don't know. It sounds like an alien creature to me. I mean, seedless oranges, seedless watermelon, seedless grapes, seedless. I'm like, what are we putting in our body? Like this artificial stuff that is being marketed as organic seedless watermelon. I don't know. But anyway, listen, I am getting ready to go. And then next week, I think we're talking about memories or something like that.
Saving your
Moments.
memories, saving the
Yes.
moment, saving the memories.
Saving your memories, like those moments. Do you know, like, let's see, seedless watermelon is a science project. Yes, Felicia, seedless watermelon is a science project. And we're the guinea pigs. We're the subjects. The guinea pigs, the subjects, the long-term side effects of this stuff. Oh, awful. So basically, have you ever, when you went out somewhere, hanging out with your friends, you just wanted to put that moment in a bottle and you just didn't want the moment to end, but of course it had to end. When you have those moments, like I remember undergrad, certain parties we went to, certain things that we did. I just want to keep those moments like, how do you keep those moments alive? Those memories, those fond memories. It's like, oh, I wish this night would last forever. Well, we know the night's not going to last forever, but how do you keep hold of that? Oftentimes, and I'm not going to get into it today, but because of social media, we do have the power to do that, taking pictures with our cell phone and posting it, and just other things like writing stuff in a journal. But we're going to talk about that next week, and those moments that are forever seared in your mind. Like you don't want the memory to go. Like, think about a time when you were maybe 10 or 11 and you had a fond memory, whether it was waking up on Christmas morning, whether it was the Easter morning for you and you saw the Easter basket on the table and you really thought that there was such a thing as an Easter bunny. I'm talking about me right now. And you thought there was an Easter bunny. Like those things, like, like, oh my gosh. Am I the only one that really thought that there was a tooth fairy? Curtis, did you ever think there was a tooth fairy?
No. I don't think we ever got no money for no tooth fairy.
Really?
No. That wasn't one of the things. No.
I had money under my pillow all the time. Yes, my aunt, my mom, and my grandparents always put money under my pillow.
I remember them trying to like pull a tooth out with a string and like slamming a door, like tying the other end to a door. I remember we tried that one time to get a tooth out.
Yeah, my granddad did that, but then I would keep the tooth, and then they would say put it under the pillow. Oh, thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Jesse. Let's see. Was it? I thought so. I tried seeing it put nickel under my pillow. Me too. I thought so. I tried seeing it put a nickel. Me too. I'm telling you, I really believe. I thought it was this woman seriously flying in. I had this whole envision of this woman, wearing this white dress, looking like, a tooth fairy.
I thought that was a horror movie though. The Tooth Fairy was a horror movie, like later on, like.
Oh, see, wait a minute now. Look. Felicia said she got 25 cents.
I don't remember that at all. So maybe my teeth didn't fall out like hers did.
Or maybe the tooth fairy just missed you altogether. Tooth fairy, Santa Claus, Easter. But I believe, me too. Thank you, Raquel, for being honest. I believed in the tooth fairy. I believed in Santa Claus. I believed in the Easter Bunny. I really thought that Easter Bunny was coming with a big Easter suit and put the basket on the table, because when I woke up, the Easter basket was on the table. Oh, thank you, Raquel.
So it just had to be the Easter Bunny, right? Not your mama and your daddy. Okay.
Well, because she said it was the Easter Bunny. So I believed her. She said, go to sleep, and the Easter Bunny's going to bring you a gift when you wake up in the morning. It's going to be there.
Well, two things real quick. First of all, my parents was real old when they had me. And second of all, my sister was the only girl. So maybe she got money, but we didn't. So I don't remember that.
Oh, Felicia.
There was 3 boys and 1 girl in the house when she was there. So
what'd you say?
So there was 3 boys and 1 girl in the house. So she was probably getting a nickel or 25 cents.
Oh. See, and somebody even fed Santa. Dion says Santa got cookies too. Mm-hmm. Well, we didn't do cookies. My memory is giving a case quarter to the man at the register and him giving me 2 dimes and a nickel. I thought he had a machine that changed the quarter.
That don't make no sense.
Oh gosh. Oh, a machine that changed the quarter. I could see that.
I thought about that though. I never thought about that. Yeah, that's funny.
Isn't that something, how our imagination, just like, yes, Bridget, how our imagination is like, oh my gosh, don't lose it. Don't lose it. Don't get too far though, because, we got to reel you back in. But don't lose it for sure. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. But yes, get good sleep. Drink your water. See, I'm down to this. Drink your water. Yes. Reduce your alcohol intake. Eat your fruits, your vegetables. Engage in a fun, engaging game. Something like Scrabble, something like Sudoku, checkers, chess, puzzles, crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, all of that stuff. I think I'm about jigsaw puzzle. The only thing is I don't know what to do with it after I finish. Maybe I just give it away to Goodwill. Raquel, do you
glue it together and put it on your wall, like you were saying?
The aesthetics of my house. You think I'm gonna have you see that, Prince? You think I'm gonna have a puzzle, jigsaw puzzle on the wall? No. Unless it was a very fierce puzzle. Like, say for instance, if that was a puzzle, I would do it like that, but not the house and the tree and the cat and the dog. Take a picture and then donate it. Yeah, donate the old thing. Take the picture, unpuzzle it, whatever, and then put it back in the box and then donate it. Okay, that's a good idea. Now,
Fisher's still swearing we all got a quarter, but I still don't remember that.
They were older, my parents, and I am the only girl, but all of us got tooth fairy money. See, maybe somebody stole your tooth fairy money, Curtis.
Maybe.
Somebody stole your tooth fairy money. I want my 25 cents. All right. So, great show. Thank you all for tuning in. Raquel, I'm going to hit you up about that jigsaw puzzle. You know what? I'm going to get a jigsaw puzzle. They should make jigsaw puzzles that look kind of funky. Not these, you know what I'm saying?
No, they have any kind you want. Like you can make your own jigsaw puzzles too.
Oh, how?
Yeah, I'll put you up on it. It's through one of them companies.
Yep. Oh, so that jigsaw puzzle gonna look like that?
Yeah, you can have a jigsaw puzzle that looks just like that. Mm-hmm.
Felicia's saying, Curtis, you were the spoiled one.
What? We are not going to get into this, but no, I was not the spoiled one. We're not going to get into this.
Curtis, are you the youngest?
No, I had a younger brother, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I believe you, Felicia. But yeah, so I can take a picture of something and then they can make it into puzzles.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Raquel, did you know that? That you can take a picture, say for instance, of you and your mother, and then that could be a puzzle, a jigsaw.
Remember, it's just the same thing as like putting it on mugs, putting it on keychains, all like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same. It's the same thing.
Oh, yes. Okay, Raquel, she did know. Okay. Mm-hmm. Have you ever done that before, Raquel?
Yeah, because you know how you could get like a bag or like a jacket with any picture on it that you want. They do everything nowadays. You could, everything's customizable. You can get that water jug customizable too.
Oh. All right. Oh, that's interesting. A puzzle. Now, like I said, if it's a funky puzzle, like some avant-garde artwork or something
They have all of that.
That may be possible. I may do that. All right, my urbanites, thank you for tuning in. We had Bridget, we have Raquel, we have Felicia, we have Jesse, we have Dion, and some other people out there. Who else? There's some other people I can't quite see. But also, I told you all, I'm trying to kind of navigate everyone away from Facebook. Oh, thank you, Felicia. I'm trying to navigate everyone away from Facebook so you can come into YouTube, the YouTube channel. Oh, YouTube channel, Urban Tools for Change Network. My YouTube channel, you'll find my shorts. You'll find the community page. Look at the community page. And then also, on my YouTube channel page, you will see the pages, the links to iHeartRadio. You'll see the links to Apple, Spotify, as well as, I believe, my Facebook Urban Tools for Change page. And that's the only one that I'm going to kind of navigate to. But then I may steer away from that. But I really want everyone to come and move on to YouTube, because I believe YouTube is going to be around for a long day. I'll go over to YouTube. See you there. Yes, thank you. And then you can write your comments in YouTube and stuff like that. So it's just, a little better in YouTube. YouTube is a little friendlier. So, Curtis, you were asking about the people from TikTok. A lot of people now are going to have to come over to YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube got them shorts and everything now too.
They
So the gap is going to be filled. You
It
know what
is
I mean? It's going to be something else.
It's going to be filled, and their followers are just going to follow them. So we'll see in the next year and a half.
9 months. Yeah, 9 months. I think it was.
Yeah. All right, my urbanites. Again, thank you for coming into the Urban Suite with me, Dr. Lisa Lacan, where you laugh, learn, cry, and grow. Until next time, God bless and be blessed. Molly, take us away.